Two are extremely experienced, and they must be ready to win this weekend here in North Carolina. Goes Rifty, 5 Eels, can he get another? No, it's not enough. Trippernn fights back. He's got it in him. Here, he's now leading. He does have the HP advantage, and he goes, and it comes for the side.
You could be the host. You could win FNCS Invitational tomorrow. Sat in second. Trippernn is looking. This is pretty good.
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. We'll see. Guys, give it up for Trippernn and th0masHD!
They have to find that sweet spot in the zone. They're going to use launch pad to get there.
When you see Reason and Aqua looking up, you know there's only one thing in front of them. How can we take this high ground? Trippernn, though, has a problem in front of him. He gets punished. He backs up. Great defensive maneuvers right now. Okay, and Thomas takes the lead. He says, hey, you go ahead, pause down, heal. I'll continue to tarp out. We have the zone right here. See Andy and Joe, even with a messed up finger, Joe is not going to allow him to stop playing for the big positions right now, and he's got this high ground. It doesn't even look like it's been affecting him at all. Yeah. Look at this, 3 Elans.
Goes through the loadouts. He had all the mats to hold on to that high ground with 7 moving zone, even if it's contested. Reason and Aqua trying to fight for it, but they're going to get stuffed. They're going to get shut down for now, and you can see the pressure from Joe and Z Andy. They're looking towards the backside of zone, and they're putting shots on players who are suffering the storm surge.
Oh, he goes for the low pad. Aqua wants to get down to the low ground here. No reason to play for the builds. He doesn't have enough to make it. Is Reason behind him is the real question. Meanwhile, another end game for Quitos and PHN. They have 4 Elans representing for Brazil right now, and they are almost inching their way to the top 10 right now, but Cold and Scented are right in front of them. This is where they do the most work. This is where they play best.
Yeah, they're just recycling a lot of those builds towards the low ground. Trippernn trying to take that cheeky shot to the backside of zone. Elevation up, th0masHD probably leading the charge, making sure that these guys are on the same page through and through. Booga backside of zone, 2 men miss. He's just trying to go ahead and stagger himself out, and he found an elimination onto Jew. More HP for him, and look at the resources he found.
And it's huge right now. He's managing to fight his way through. He finds another one there in the zone. A huge tag is going to keep him alive right now. And look at him start to sprint here. But no, he's hunted down and taken out back by th0masHD. And all of a sudden now Thomas has all the extra refreshes here, but he's starting to run out. Is he going to go for low ground, or is he going to continue to hold out here? Reason has a decision to make as well. Off to the side he goes. This player's in front. Cold is down. We saw that exchange. It's a big one.
Yep, he's just trying to stay alive. Reason's doing a good job staying ahead of zone. And now he just has to man-minute stuff to find a way to stabilize this th0masHD. He's trying to stagger himself towards the backside of zone, running out of ticks onto that man-minute. A huge shot's going to be fired. th0masHD is trying to stay alive, but he goes down. Zagu from Asia strikes again.
It's just not enough. Zagu says, I am here to play, and put some respect on us. Scented is going to fall to EU Scram. And again, Zagu is now by himself. Chrome Splash comes out. He finds his teammate. Does he get the save? Now this is what you want to see. A big save here in the ultimate low could change the entire story.
This could be huge for Asia. This could be huge for Zagu and Miriam. But Joe and Z Andy, they have the high ground.
Oh no.
He wasn't able to get the revive off. This is going to be huge. He's the only solo left in the world of duos.
Oh no, but he knows that's enemy build. He goes up, the side jump. He has enough. He takes high ground, but no. Z Andy is here to back up up. He goes for the falling shot, doesn't quite find it. Chimp and Scram, Healed is going down, and they are having the opportunity here, but no. Chimp does not take advantage. He is now by himself. He has lost his teammate. Can he find a steal of points here? He's looking for it. Zagu jumps to the ultimate low. Chimp's trying to time his exit, and he gets caught out, and down he goes. Z, Andy, and Joe now have 8 eliminations and a win set up potentially in front of them.
Yeah, 2v1 situation. EU versus Asia, and for Zagu, this man has the world on his shoulders. Just a sliver of HP, a little bit of shield, and it's not going to be enough. Joe and Z, Andy take game number 3.
Such a competitive FNCS Invitational, if we've ever seen one, especially after just 4 games, and now the 5th is unfolding before our eyes.
Top of the leaderboard, stacked like pancakes in a Waffle House right now. It's Thomas and Trippernn, 2 eliminations. At at the edge of zone. And right now, there's so many teams on the outskirts. They can continue to peek and just put so much pressure on the lobby before they figure out what's next. The choices are definitely there. You see Acorn and Edgy, they're sitting clean. They found themselves a nice spot. Belusi and Hydro as well. Not too many teams on this side of the map, and this is what we would call the slower side, to where you don't have too much to worry about, especially if you're Acorn and Edgy and you're 676 above the damage threshold. That allows you that flexibility, that allows you options to pick and choose. Do you want to go ahead and put pressure on another team? Do you want to rotate around the map? The choice is now theirs. But a team that might not have those same choices is Malibucca and moustache. They're only 105 above. We talked about the lack of resources that they have. So they're going to have to figure out something here. And you know as well as I do, they're going to have to look for a siphon. They're going to have to look for a refresh. They're going to have to look for a team to catch off guard and really pounce on them.
Let's see if they can do just that. 87 damage. It's good, but it's not good enough. Potentially here, 6 players are the difference between this surge continuing to stay online and turning off. Here it is, 3 seconds before the reveal. They're going to take the fight against Alex and Bailey. Alex and Bailey are multi-FNCS champions of the OCE region. moustache and Malibucca looking to step up to this huge challenge here. Gotta be careful though, this is what they love to do! And a great tag here. This is why moustache and Malibucca are some of the best. The Chrome Shield comes down though, and that'll buy them some time.
And right now, Storm Surge taking out a lot of these teams. If you get your shields cracked, they will hear it and they will go. As Malibucca or moustache, they know the position that they're in. It's all or nothing because you can't make it too much farther with the resources that you have. Alex goes down, or takes down Threat. moustache and Malibucca, they're going to be the ones that get all the loot because of it. As Baka and Almond trying to stay alive, they're trying to protect what's theirs.
And they do just that. They get a little bit for their efforts, not much, but they're alive, and they've done some damage. They've defended the territory, and everyone backs up. Let's take a wider look here. Fadil has to give up the high ground. Everyone's making the rotate. th0masHD and Trippernn still a launch pad in the bag as they get to half an app out. This is excellent. Such an excellent position to be in. Switches over to the hard material, and they fortify up and branch out. What? And a play here just to even play for territory, to open up the domain right now.
Malibucca and moustache met their demise. Both King and Hellfire get an elimination each, taking out one of EU's exciting teams is Queasy and Vino. Another exciting team coming in with all the momentum in the world, winning an EU Elite Cup, winning the NA East Elite Cup Finals back-to-back in the same day.
Great.
If that's not what you call preparation, I don't know what is.
And they're showing us why they're up at the top right now. And they are taking advantage. A northwest zone is excellent for a team like Vino and Queasy. They find AST down low. That's going to be their 4th elim. Pink does not stand a chance if they decide to focus together, but it's more important for them to maintain the position right now. And this zone's going far. It's going to cut back towards Acorn and Edgy side. Scented and Cold have more of a dominant rotate here, and this is all shaping out to be a great game.
Look at that mountain. They got to go down the hill and then back up the hill. This is literally going to be a roller coaster ride of an end game. And if you don't have a launch pad, if you don't have chrome splashes, I wish you best of luck.
Well, we do know if you do, Cold and Scented go ahead and put the chrome splashes to the use here, to the test. And they jump right over that bush and into it. It's going to be a great spot. Meanwhile, everyone else takes to the high ground. Peppo finds an elim, and Yumi is going to fall there too. He is the victim of the loot that we are watching get sniped up by Larson and Smite here.
You know, they called it though. They called it's going to start at the drop spot of Grim Gables. They take out Mud and Looter, and they keep things going. Repscar peaks at the right time, finds the shots on the cool. Another elimination going over. And this could be a moment for him to remember for the rest of his days if he can continue to clutch up big like that, as Joe and Z-Andy trying to be the first team on the day to win 2 victory royales.
And Smite and Larson are still in the game as well. Vino and Queasy have the high ground. Queasy manages to crank his way on up, and that is what you call a well-executed launch pad play there to keep them in the run here. But there's still more points that they have to close out. Here goes Smite. He's going to go for the pad play. Z-Andy and Joe get to the front side of zone now. They rotate their way on out as well. And this is coming back off, way off the height. This is such a tough and just honestly difficult zone to play.
The Epic Games Fortnite roller coaster continues yet again.
gosh.
Down the mountain, up the mountain. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a loop-de-loop come through as Rep Guard's trying to catch one off guard, but it's he who gets caught off guard by Andy.
And just like that, he is down and out. Trippernn and TH0masHD, we get to get a little temperature check with them. They are on the mid-ground, right above Scented and Cold. Smite loses Larson on the rotate, and he is now left by himself. Just places away from 10th here. Can he hold on? Peppo does enough, but not enough to beat Vortexter. Here's Onwin and Baka. They had made such an excellent use of surviving their drop spot. Joe finds Noah. Down he goes, and Joe's hurt. 20 HP. This is not looking good.
Quick moving, quick thinking, trying to get out, but he gets caught in the tail end as Queasy and Vino. Zone after zone after zone. No matter where this roller coaster went, they stayed on top. Baka loses Onwin, but he takes down Bash. Back up against the wall. He gets 2. Baka gets 2. 7 eliminations for the NA West
And he
duo.
has shown you how good he is and why he deserves to be here. Even when he is counted out, he is showing up, but hold up. Scented, Cold now, back in the mix here. They already have done one, but can they get another? But Grolls and Rifty are showing they finally have an end game, and they are making big do with it. There's a third elim, 30 points already earned in this round. Baka fights back, but Colt and Scented get to get all that sweet loot.
Yep, towards the low ground, along with TH0masHD and Trippernn. This one is going to get messy for everybody that's stuck down low. But for Vino and Queasy, they have the elevation. They have a huge advantage. Plenty of mats to work with. That's a recipe for success. But it's up to Cold and Scented and a few other teams to try to take down the high ground team.
And don't forget, Trippernn and Thomas, who had a 10-point lead, is still here as well. TH0masHD wants more, though. Down goes Grolls, and they are closing the gap. But he loses teammate. He's gonna fall. Top 3 now. Scented is still in the mix here, in the conversation, but no build. Big shot comes in from up top. And all of a sudden now, it is looking so dicey. Queasy is just waiting.
Waiting for that perfect opportunity. They have the high ground. They drop down low. The game is theirs after they take down Bevy. That is game number 5, sealed up by Vino and Queasy. A solo stole hideaway from the TSM duo. That is absolutely insane right now. But you got to take note of where they actually landed, though. They still landed at a high enough layer so they can take it back at a moment's notice.
Just need to evaluate the situation. No need to burn material this early. Smart play. It's the best play. Vino, but a huge tag there. Shield crack there. That's going to go ahead and get him a little excited. But Acorn and Edgy now revealed themselves to his layer as well. He's not too happy about that one, and you see him back up just a second there. Meanwhile, Refsguard on high ground by himself, just looking down here, enjoying the view, but 130 damage is what he needs. He gets 4 tags. That's great, but not enough. Here comes the big drop, and he hits it. Okay, he stays in the game.
Almost seeing his life flash before his eyes, just a few centimeters in the wrong direction. He goes down, he goes out, but Queasy and Vino are trying to go up. They're trying to take the game by storm, and they get it, Monster. They got the high ground for now.
But it's not for free. They do have a duel on their heels. Who is it? It's Refsguard, who tried to fight for it, but he is not going to be successful this time around. High ground can get you one thing that we know for sure, and that's amazing placement if you can ride it out. When you're a solo like that, that was an excellent attempt. But now, back into the heat of things. Seti, Cammy, 2 elims, another end game. And their biggest threat, Trippernn and TH0masHD is alive. Acorn and Edgy, NA East's last hope potentially in this lobby, still in the run.
Saw threats go down to the bottom half of the map. That's Trulex and Chicho take him down. Kanata falls as well. Ed's gonna get one. Queasy Vino trying to go ahead and put themselves outward so they can continue that damage. Seats a solo, stuck at the outside of zone. 4 floppers to work with. The Siphon comes through onto Ed. This is an opportunity for him to pick out placement points while being outside of the zone.
Not only that, Clicks is still alive too, but here's Tayson. Tayson's gonna fall inside the storm now. It's up to Acorn and Edgy, making their way out the outskirts here. Look at the clean rotate here from Acorn. He is just exceptional, but we get to jump into Duke. 200 HP, now down to 72, make it less than that. It's not looking good. From 0 to hero, he's trying to claw his way into this. They find a player on the edge. No elim there. Duke has to fight back, and down he goes, and it is all over. And once again, we might be seeing our first team who is setting up for a back-to-back.
back-to-back. That is going to leave them with all the confidence in the world to end day one and go into day two. They have 10 eliminations onto Vico from the low ground. He's trying to have a comeback for the ages to close out day number one. Shots onto Trippernn, a huge amount of damage. He drops him down as well, but goes down altogether. Valiant effort by Vico.
It is a worst-case scenario for th0masHD because his biggest threat is on high ground, but Reet is fighting back. Reet takes down Queasy on height. He is turning this around and trying to turn this into potentially a solo game. Meanwhile, Thomas finds Watts. Thomas still alive, and Reet falls there in the end. Look at Thomas holding the low ground. Chicho's right next to him. Trulix hurts him too, but Vino has the grip of height. Acorn waiting on the side. Out of builds, he's gonna have to come down too. It's all over. The gas tank is empty. Down he goes. And now, off to Seti.
It's Cammy and Seti, the only duo left, and they find another one. Vino trying to put wonders. 1v2 situation. What can he do here to take home the big prize and end with back-to-back victory royales to end the day? But a team looking to take first place back. Cammy and Seti, and they try to steal it away by getting that VR to end game 6.
Thank you very much, my man. I'm with right now Thomas and Trippernn, everyone. The dynamic Dane.
The zone actually pulls south. We saw what Acorn was able to do yesterday as a solo. He picked up so many points, and that post-game interview was perfect. You got to hear the credit from Edgy, but th0masHD, the surge is active. No way they go in through the Chrome build. They are not playing around, but this is some of NA West's best box fighters on the other side of the wall. th0masHD, Trippernn have to take this battle here. They do not have time to sit around. Looking out, anything for anything. There it is. Baka opens the wall. No tag. That's a miss. That's a problem. Trippernn might have found a little bit here. He's now leading. He does have the HP advantage. In he goes. And it comes from the side. A great job. EU. One goes down. Can they turn it around? Baka needs to clutch up here. No HP. Shot from behind as well. He gets the trade. This is such a tough position.
He has to try to find a stabilize and find a moment to breathe right now because it was game 5 yesterday. He 1v2'd Mr. Savage and iDrop at the top of Chrome Jam. Now he's trying to do the same thing, but I don't know if he was able to get the opportunity to revive on one. So Baka is now by himself, but luckily for him, they did get some early eliminations. They did get some early damage, so they don't have to worry about Storm Surge. But oh my God, how are Thomas and Trippernn still alive?
This is crazy. The map awareness, understanding the vault was just nearby and fighting their way towards it for the heals. It wasn't just for the battle, it was the positioning to the vault. What a big play here. It all makes sense as to why they wanted to position themselves here, but still, they will need to find tags now better than ever. They have shield bubbles as well to protect themselves for the next box fight.
Yeah, and for that can easily close the gap on a couple of teams if they want to go box to box, wall to wall, and have that be their plan. You can see them breaking through the builds. They're just trying to find anybody that is nearby because they don't want to peek and accidentally get shot at by the lobby. So for them, it's about finding whoever is close, and they hear the players nearby, so they're just trying their best to figure out what they are going to do.
Just a couple tags now, but also a few seconds away from the half in, half out. The surge will continue to wreck the lobby. It's going to become more and more difficult now as the seconds rage on. This is game 7 of the FNCS Invitational, and the action is really starting to pick up now.
Yeah, Pamstu went down early on. Batch left by himself. A consistent duo on the day, but he is 17 below the damage threshold. Reet in his line of sight. He's trying to hunt, but somebody, that's Seti, who takes that one away. That was Batch's best chance at Storm Surge damage.
It's going to go all the way north here. We know Edgy was a solo. Now we have Thatch as a solo as well. A tough position to be in. Take a look at the points. It is looking very much like a 3-way race, continuing the trend here as EU leads the charge right now. Jumping over. Shield bubbles are down. Trippernn and th0masHD has found their next targets, and it's not an easy choice by any means. We are looking at KBR and Zeet on the other side of the wall.
And even though for Thomas and Trippernn, Storm Surge is not activated right now, they knew where they last stood when it came to that damage. Exactly that. They are still below. It is still a worry for them, and they have to travel through all these players who are actually beating them to the punch. This could get dangerous, but for Janus and Vidil, they have the high ground. They have that perfect opportunity if they're low on Surge to just clean up the lobby.
And we wanted to check in with Vino and Queasy. How have they managed to take this zone favor and turn it to their advantage? Heavy material Big HP, well above the surge, launch pads to work with. This is a story written for them right now. And again, you saw how many points they had leading coming into this. This can only end well for them at this point, but let's go ahead and look at Aqua, Reason, a much different story. This is a team that will play for height, and you can see they're already positioned themselves to do it. But Aqua with the drop shot and now punished for the risk. Was it worth it? Reason has to leave him behind. He turns it around. Another team says, whoa, what are you doing? That's a solo now. And the burning of the mats here to try to survive. That's unfortunate for Aqua.
Yep. He was right there trying to chop down, and that was tantalizing him to go for that shot right then and there, and he went for it. That was a huge opportunity. Unfortunately enough, it didn't pay off, but for Acorn and Edgy, they're making it this far. And I've actually seen these guys get knocked a few times throughout this game. That was where Edgy finally went down, but for Acorn, he was one of the biggest damage dealers in the lobby throughout 6 games yesterday. Looking to keep that up for Cammy and Seti. They started the day in 3rd. They moved up to 2nd already, so their game plan is continuing to pay off.
And Zeke finds Vico in the feed there too, so things are really starting to get interesting now as we're seeing changes happen. Joe is still in this game as well. Take a look. Acorn as a solo right now, making do with anything, right? Honestly, when we last tuned in, he barely had something, but on high ground, Queasy and Vino have now solidified themselves as the Titans up top.
Yep, that feeling of deja vu sinks in yet again. 6 moving zone. That's the same time they took it yesterday as Th0mas and Trippernn. This time around, they're going to have that flexibility because they're 141 above the damage threshold this time, so they don't have to go hunting. They can stay ahead of zone, try to get themselves in a good spot.
And what a beautiful way and usage of the shield bubbles to make their rotate on the dead side while using the shield bubbles. Cammy, though, caught slipping there, and Seti is left now as a solo in this endgame to the hands of Larson. Cammy falls.
Yeah, and this endgame is just getting so rough. Up and down these mountains. These players are going to have to figure out what they're going to do, especially Trippernn, who is out of builds. Him and Th0mas have to figure out something, but they have been through the ringer this game. If anybody deserves it, it's them.
This is crazy. Trippernn and Th0mas should not be alive right now, but they are staying up.
He does it again!
Truelex with a huge refresh, and he is back in the game. It will come at the expense of Trippernn falling, though. But hey, they have earned points, and now we have another top 3 player inside the game here, keeping up with the pace. Scented, Cold, still alive. 3 Elans as well. Looking to take a fight there, but no. They want to make this rotate. They need to get to the zone. What a great layer change here from Scented, and it's all about smart play from him.
Yeah, he had 2 med miss, floppers on the backside of zone. Th0mas doing everything he can to stay alive, just like Larson here, who's by himself. 5 eliminations as a team, most of them coming off the back of Larson and that early game start. But first place, Queasy and Vino holding on high to the high ground in the sky.
And Brazil is still alive in this game as well. So we have EU, NA, and Brazil all in this same game. You can see the heals coming out from Ketos and PH in there. They still have so much to work with. 2 of our top 5 teams already out. So for Vino and Queasy, they are starting to take away. Trippernn holding on with dear life here at 200 points, making sure the gap does not go too far. 6 elims down for a Brazilian duo. Larson has a solo right now, trying to steal away whatever he can get.
Only 2 builds his name. He's trying to play his cards carefully, but somehow Scented again, he goes down, but it's ThomasHD with a run of a lifetime right now going down right before our very eyes. Top 10 finish. Now he's in the top 7 as well, trying to keep it going. KBR, Larson, all these solos coming around. This is going to get good.
Oh, right through the chrome, and Vortex puts him down. KBR, it's your turn. Nope, down he goes. And now we're looking at a 2-on-2 +1 in the mix there in the low ground. Queasy and Vino are starting to run out of, Matt's down low, but that's all. They have tons of heals to work with. Meanwhile, Bevies is just clawing his way through the builds here. It is not looking too good. Queasy's gonna get burned there for over-peeking down low, but this should be their game.
That feeling of deja vu comes in yet again, picking up where they left off from yesterday. But this time, Janice and Vidil, the team from Greasy Grove, making it this far, and it's come down to a 2v2 situation between 2 of the top teams in EU. with Janice and Vidal feeling the pressure of the high ground, running out of builds. This is basically Queasy and Vino's game.
Both sides are starting to run out now. Queasy's down to one build as well. This is looking very dire. They're gonna have to cap off. Janice and Vidal know better. They need to continue the pressure. Vino goes down. He takes a shot. Vidal blocks it. Beautifully done. Janice stuck up from behind. Queasy with a great follow-up. And oh my gosh, it was so close. But Queasy touches out in the end. EU, Vino, Queasy from first to another first, literally.
Cold. Talked about the position they are, third place on the leaderboard. Thomas and Trippernn just a little bit above, 453 when it comes to that damage threshold for them. The only focus is getting to the next zone.
But their loot looks great. The launch pads in the inventory, they have everything they need. Queasy and Vino are playing such an interesting strategy. Late from behind, they try to swing all the way on in, and that is such an interesting way to play this one out, because what they want to do is allow the zone to pull very, very far, give them room, and then time that entrance. And now look at this. It puts them in a prime position to start eyeing and sizing up high ground. But Scented, Cold already there, beating them to the point. Start to look in. Someone lands in the box, and Cold is possibly there to defend. Yes, he's still there. It's Avery who tries to land in the box. No, no, sir. That was a mistake.
And they instantly close in on him like a Venus flytrap as Queasy and Vino. They've done it yet again. They have that portion of the high ground, but you see they're staggering Vino back, wanting to let nobody get any opportunity to try to steal it away. And the only person that does gets taken down almost immediately, adding to their elimination total.
They're making it look easy. Seti and Cammy now also very much positioned to make another big endgame. 15 duos remaining here. TH0masHD and Trippernn still have so much left in the tank as well, but they get broken down. Oh no, a great block there though. They were just one build away from potentially getting taken out the lobby. Too much shot starts to come in now. The focus is here. He has to swing around. This is looking terrible for a second place team. Trippernn is nowhere to be found. Thomas hits the launch pad. He swings splash. High ground and Queasy and crew. And there it is. Trippernn falls. Thomas is now by himself.
They're trying to go for the high ground right now, but Chapix is shut down. But Tayson's having to do it by himself. But Queasy, he's going to abandon it for now. Vino's going to follow suit. Shots coming in. This is huge. Chapix goes down, though. The refresh and the siphon is absolutely important. Tayson trying to break into the box, but he goes down. Vino and Queasy will not be denied.
And this is why they're some of the best. He was there to back him up. And it works out so well. Bevies and Vortexer from contesting Booga and Miro at the drop, running them out of Chonker Speedway, now running it up to the high ground here in an endgamer, looking like they want to take home their first victory of the weekend.
Down goes Vino. Down goes one member of the first place team.
To the hands of Cammy.
This is a chance right now for teams to try to overtake that top spot, and one of them is going to be TH0masHD as a solo. Doing everything that he can, try to move to the builds. He has enough resources to make it happen, but Queasy, no builds to his name. 1v1 against you, but he gets taken down thanks to the storm.
And TH0masHD is still alive right now, clutching, which is so monumental as first place has finally fallen. They have a chance to earn some points here. Cold and Scented are still alive as well. TH0masHD needs to make up 15 points in order to close the gap here. Scented needs 30. That's a huge jump up. Cammy and Seti are also still alive right now. On the heel, so close. Cold and Scented don't want any of it, and they back him off.
There's more than enough points if Scented and Cold can keep up this pace, keep up this pressure for them to have a shot at the last game at the end of the day, but Cammy will not be stopped as well. TH0masHD goes down, Seti gets dropped, but Cammy knows he can't be the hero in this situation. He has to try to continue on without him, but he finally gets dropped. TH0masHD is on a roll.
He's done a lot, but you can't fight yourself out of that spot there. Clicks and Duke are alive. Scented and Cold are alive. And on high ground, Vortex and Bevies. It's EU on top. Down goes Cold. And a great tag there from Vortexer. And the finish now, Bevies slides his way down, painting the loot here. Does a couple edits there, but no, doesn't hit the shot. Bevy is so quick, but not fast enough. You're going to get some of the best. A great low tag there from Duke.
This is huge. This is huge for Duke and Clicks. They have the high ground right now, but for Bevy and Vortexers, taking out some big names already on the day, using these builds to try to keep that advantage. Duke, he's in a fray. He ends up on top. Clicks and Duke could take the game with Vortexers going down. Bevy outside of zone. He has the only chance right now, but he gets the down on the Duke. Clicks versus Bevy. He's trying to go for the heel. Clicks takes the game.
In a 1v1 situation, Clicks does not let us down.
Ayo, Parrish, this shit hot, boy.